Hey everybody, I hope everybody is having a good spring break week or spring break is coming up if you have kids in those age groups. We are on spring break right now, so this video is pretty much guaranteed to not be 100% uninterrupted. I love this section of verses that we are in right now. We're in towards like the middle of Deuteronomy, through all of Joshua. And one thing that just really keeps kind of sticking out to me when I was thinking about what I wanted to share today was that towards the end of Deuteronomy, we see that Moses was told by God that he was not going to enter the promised land because he didn't listen to God the second time he had told him to bring water forth for the people. They were like dying of thirst and they needed water. And the first time God told Moses, whenever they needed water, to strike the rock with his staff, and it said like the living water flowed. But the second time, God said to Moses to tell the water to flow, and it would have flown. But Moses struck the rock twice. And I think that's just, the more I look into that, the rock obviously symbolizes Jesus. Like, he is the living water. And I was reading a commentary talking about how, it's only necessary that Jesus was struck one time. So the first time Moses strikes the rock. The second time is a lot of how our culture comes to Jesus, in a sense, when we're needing something or we're desperate for it. Like, we are literally starving and dying of dehydration. And we are like, God, we're like striking the rock. We're like, where are you? But I mean, if we listen to anything in the New Testament, ask and you will receive. And so our words have so much more power than I think we remember that they do. And that is kind of where I wanted to end in the end of Joshua, which I think it's so interesting to remember that despite Moses knowing the outcome to his story, he still was a good steward of the people, and he still left them with a very in-tune leader that was in tune with the Lord, which was Joshua. And I think that is just such a sign of integrity in how we're supposed to walk the walk, even when we know sometimes our outcome might not be what we would hope for, or the things around us aren't seeming the way that we thought that they would seem when we got to certain parts of our life. But I love in Joshua 24, and this is such a used verse. You probably already know what I'm going to say, but it says, the people are they're wild, and they made it to the promised land. They've gotten the land that they wanted for the most part. Some people haven't really done much, and then some people have truly went and conquered the portion of the promised land that they were allotted. And but they start serving the other gods. They're marrying into the other cultures, which is just so opposite of what God had asked them to do. And at the end of Joshua's life, it says that he basically was putting them in line. Y'all can either serve the Lord or don't. Stop with this double-mindedness. And basically they promised that they're going to serve the Lord, but I feel like just somewhere in Joshua he knew that you're not. But then he says, as for me and my house, we will be serving the Lord. And that is what I want from me and my house. Y'all can do whatever you want out there. You can say you're following God. You can know a lot about God. But it would almost be better for you to just say you are, you're following the world. And how important our words are. Because I think it is 100% one thing to just live the godly life, that people see Jesus in you, in how you act, how you speak, how you treat people, how you are in interruptions. And then our mouth should be in alignment with that. If we are following God, if Jesus is our King, our mouth should be proclaiming that. And I feel like a lot of people just think, well, the way I treat people is how people are going to know. And I guess they're some of the kindest people I've ever met, some of the kindest people, some of the biggest servants that just serve people with anything they have, don't follow God. So don't assume that people are going to see Jesus in how you act and how you treat them or something. Like, it needs to be giving the God the glory. Like, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Anything good that is from me is because it's from the Lord. My house is free and light and welcoming and loving because the Lord has brought that peace into this house. And so, yeah. And into this house, this temple. And I'm just so thankful for that. And I'm thankful for Jesus and just that he's willing to just give us these signs, like in the Old Testament of, I feel like we needed the entire Old Testament to just even get a glimpse of what Jesus was going to be like. And then even after Jesus has been revealed, it's still just like, we only know like this much about him. And it's all so amazing. Like, I just can't even imagine what is to come. All right, guys. I hope y'all have such a great weekend, day, wherever you're at in life. And I really hope that we're going to see you at the No Need Among You conference in October. It is going to be so fun. Spoiler alert, we have a few keynotes that have been officially confirmed, and those are going to come out soon. We want to get everything nice and locked up before we make any big announcements. But yeah, we're excited. See you guys later.